A very good morning to you. It's me, Scottie McClue. Welcome, welcome. Lovely to have you with us. It's Tuesday morning and it's 11:30 in the morning. And I thought I'd just come and say hi to every single one of you. So you're very, very welcome, Dinky-Doo. Lovely to have you with us. And of course, tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 that McClue is live just for you and saying Dinky-Doo. Always good to have you with us. And lots of news to share with you. Of course, I haven't been terribly well. You've probably thought, where is McClue these days? Where is he hiding? But I haven't been terribly well. And I completely lost my voice and we had to cancel the phone in. Oh, for goodness sake. So it's been a tough time there, I can tell you. There we are, Dinky-Doo. Hello, Callum. How lovely to have you with us. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Dinky-Doo, I say to you, you're watching Scottie McClue, the first lord of the internet. This is the big one. Tell 10 to tell 10. There's Johnny G, Dinky-Doo, Scottie McClue. Dinky-Doo, Johnny G. How lovely to have you with us. Merry Christmas. And to you, Activision, Bush Baby. There we are. Where are you from? Activision, Bush Baby. Guys, always tell me where you're from because we are truly international and it is just gorgeous to share so many interesting things with so many interesting people. So do come and tell us where you're from. Very, very important. And have a wee chat with me. You know, you don't have to just say hi and things like that. You could come and actually have a wee chat. I'm from Fife. I grew up listening to you. Activision. Bless you. How Dinky-Doo is that? Fantastic. No trolling, by the way, folks, just to let you know. Otherwise, we have to send you down the Swanee. Hi from Iceland, all the sevens. Dinky-Doo, are you from Reykjavik? I'm from England. Whereabouts in England are you from? Because England's quite a big place, and I think we should be told. I think that's very, very important. From the shop in Paisley. Oh, yes, indeed, of course. Yes, absolutely, all the sevens. There we are. Now, there's British politics being a wee bit silly, a wee bit trolly. Good morning, Scottie, is what you say. So you've got time to correct that before we send you down the Swanee. British_politics1. Fantastic. That's wonderful. Who have we got here? Kareem. Hello, Scottie. You're back with a vengeance. Thank you, Kareem. Hi, Scottie, buddy. Dinky-Doo Martin. I've missed you so much. Andrew Martin. When are we doing the phone in again? Well, I don't know if we might do one on Saturday night. I was thinking about that. It's Saturday night is Hogmanay. Is that right? I think the phone in should come back, but I think it should come back once a week on a Saturday night with a vengeance. As Kareem would say there, fantastic stuff. We love that. Wag one, Dinky-Doo. How is it? Dinky-Doo Phil. Thank you for having some rest, Scottie. Really good to see you right as rain. Know all the sevens. I was in a bit of a bad way. I've got to be honest about it. Merry Christmas and Dinky-Doo from Andrew in Falkirk. Andrew, how lovely to have you with us. British politics says Tory or Labour. Well, your best bet would be to have a good listen to what their manifesto is and have they stuck to it and then make up your mind. Kareem, thank you for your lovely gifts of footballs and weights. Yes, I was just thinking this morning, the last time I saw a leg like mine, there was a message tied to it, and I need to get my muscles back in action. Since little Clyde the Labrador died in April, I haven't been out, but he wasn't out much later anyway. He was 100 on Christmas Day last year, little Clyde. So there we are. So thank you for my mini speakers, my weights. There we are. I need to get the upper body going, Kareem. There we are. A bit of personal training for McClue. Get back into full fitness. And none of them stick to their manifestos, says Activision. Do you know, Activision, I think you're absolutely right. I think that they're an old gentleman, a very, very distinguished old architect, big-named architect, once said to me, no time for politicians, just vote catchers. There we are. So it will be once a week all the time. Yes, we're thinking of that. Hello from Lancashire, Scottie. Thank goodness you're back, sir. You've been missed, Paul. Lovely to have you with us. And a big Dinky-Doo to every single one of you. Ha! Get a wee gym set up. Yeah, absolutely. And God, keep going. Keep going. There we are. Happy Christmas, Scotty. Dinky-Doo, Lala. There we are. Kareem says, oh my goodness me. Well, we'll not go into that, Kareem, because that's your own personal business. But well done. Yes. And I mean, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Very important. Morning, Scotty. Where have you been? I hope you're well. Oh, Stuarty. I had a bad do, as we say in Lancashire. I had a tough time and I lost my voice. Their manifestos aren't worth the paper they're written on. I wonder if they've even written them down. Do you like the old ones? The old ones. Are you popular with the ladies? There we are. Am I popular with the ladies, Stephen? Well, I would hope so. I would hope I'm popular with everyone. I mean, 2 billion people have heard of me, so that's quite good, isn't it? Get into the old exercise, Scotty. Great, great stuff. There we are. Dinky-Doo, Mother Grunge says, I went to school with you. How excellent, Mother Grunge and Dinky-Doo, I say. The manifestos are written in wine and cheese. How lovely is that? Hogmanay is on Friday, buddy. Hogmanay, right. So Professor Nuptiheed was getting on your nerves? Not at all. Do the voice lost? Yes, the voice was lost. McClue was silenced after 30 years. 1 in 4 humans know this man. Tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10. All the 7s, you are correct. Merry Christmas, Scotty from Glasgow in Scotland. We love Glasgow in Scotland, and we say Dinky-Doo to Glasgow in Scotland. Guys, see if you're coming on the TikTok. Have you followed me? I noticed some people are a little bit sluggish at following, and I did a little 15-second video on it. There we are. How can you question this, says Liam. Hello, Scotty. Dinky-Doo. Really glad to see you on the up, Scotty. Oh, yes. We're back on the up here, and we're at the Cloudy Apple this morning. Ooh, that is lush. The Cloudy Apple. His accent sounds funny. Liam, I don't have an accent. This is the way I speak. This is the way I have always spoken. Go on to all your YouTube videos and look back 30 years. There's the wonderful Maria Knight Dinky-Doo. She sent me a cap. I love it, Maria. It looked like an academic cap. Wow, because am I not right in thinking, Maria, you are an academic? There we are. Scotty, I'll be having a lovely Hogmanay. Will you be live for the bell? Oh, a lonely Hogmanay. Oh, Flying Norseman, no. Will you be live for the bells? Well, do you know, if I'm around, I think I should actually come on and be live for the bells. I'm really thinking, because I saw what's on offer from the television channels, and they do it with lots of shouting and lots of loud music and join us for Hogmanay. And I thought, why would you? Because I don't really know any of these people. And they say, wonderful new lineup for Hogmanay. Same old chat, There we are. Encourage your viewers to share your live. Yes, indeed. Share my live, folks. Get sharing this. I'd have my TikTok running if you did go live. Activision, it would be excellent stuff. But everybody get following on TikTok, folks, because I know it's so easy just not to bother. And if you're on the YouTube channel, the Scotty McClue YouTube channel, which is where we're going to do the phone-ins from, then get subscribing, and get that sent round. Very, very, very big. I'll have to watch back all your phones. Absolutely, yes, indeed. Martin. Now, that would really be the best thing to happen this year. Scotty McClue for the bells on TikTok and YouTube. We need to put the word round, though, because my YouTube channel is the world's best kept secret. It's been sitting there for 11 years. Admittedly, we didn't use it a lot, but it's been sitting there for 11 years. There's only 3,000 subscribers. Now, that should be 3 million subscribers. Everybody with a YouTube account should be able to go on Scottie McClue's YouTube channel, because there's genuinely national treasure stuff in there for you folks. How did you transition from TV to radio, Scottie McClue? Well, you know, it's very strange, because most people in broadcasting start on the radio and then get a gig on the telly. I just, as a young man, walked into a gig on the telly and loved every second of it. I would still like to do maybe 1 week's bulletins for one of the big television channels. I know I'm a bit grey and grizzled nowadays, but you know, we could tidy ourselves up and pop on the old shot and tie. And good evening. Here is your news for tonight. And just deliver it, you know. So there we are. So yes, it was a very easy transition. And of course, in television, unless it's an emergency, when they'll creep into the studio and slide a page of late news in front of you, you didn't come in and out of studios and television at all. Whereas in radio, if you're quiet, you go in and out a lot of the studios, you know, while we're talking. Get up and give us the Highland Fling, Scotty. Absolutely, Activision. Hey, the he, ho, diddly, hi. It's all in the footwork, you see. Good morning from Calder Crooks. Merry excellent Scotty, you are the man. Calder Crooks, we love you. And Dinky-Doo, I say. Anthony Mack, happy Christmas, Scotty. Hope you've had a good one. Absolutely, Anthony. I hope you're okay, and I hope you're keeping better. You're going to have a good year. Fantastic. You have lost a bit of timberla, but you look good for it. Yes, I think I look all right, and I stretch the old neck out, because I was touch of a side of a house. You know what I mean? 18 stone of solid muscle. But I have lost a lot of muscle as well. I need to get that back, mainly between the ears. There we are. Would you go back to being a serious newsreader? If you prefer to keep doing comedy? Do you know, Flying Norseman, this has been my problem, if you like. I love the light-hearted, funny approach, because I see so much mirth and fun and goodness in life. And so many people just see badness all the time and negativity, and we won't have any of that. But I'm obviously getting a bit old now to be a staff news reader. But it would still be nice to do a week or two and let the public see it. Say, my goodness, look who it is reading the news on the telly. Yes, indeed. And see if I could still do it. You know, can I still read an autocue? Because remember, when I started in television, there was no autocue. You had to do what was called the noddies. In fact, I think you can still see some of my early bulletins on YouTube. So do look it up. No time for negativity in this day and age. Do you know, Activision, we just don't, because every second of life is precious. Every second. And if you get young people going, I'm bored, this is boring, everything's so boring, you know, you say to them, well, look, what is your problem? Because you're the luckiest generation ever. There you are. You should go for it. Be a newsreader. Yes, I don't know. They might just laugh at me if I went along to the British Broadcasting Corporation. Give Trevor McDonald a run for his money. Dear Trevor, I've met him. Huge, big, tall man. Very elegant, very interesting man to speak to. Yes, indeed, the wonderful Trevor McDonald. Because I can remember when we said John Mackay, another fantastic newscaster, yes. Well, remember, I was reading news in 1984. Now, that's not bad, is it? Morning for the Tuna Dumfries, home of the Red Comyn and the Comyn Riding and the Old Brig. Do you know, I remember them rebuilding the Old Brig, and there was a Dunhamer on here arguing that the Old Brig's never been rebuilt. I said, you go back to about 1960. Aha. So there we are, the Nith. There we are. It was very dangerous looking seagulls perched on it. Yes, fantastic. I was 4 in 1984, says Activision. There we are. Well, you'll not remember me on the telly, a wee 4-year-old. It's wonderful stuff. Now then, what else are we getting? Fantastic. Have you all followed me on the TikTok? Very important, because I know what people are like. They're very fickle. They say, oh, okay, I'm no bothering with that. But do, please, because it all helps. And then we can have you involved in the big phone-in. We're going to do a big phone-in once a week on a Saturday night. Tremendous stuff. What do you think? 9 o'clock? 9 till 10. No, just the radio. My dad loved you. Oh, we had some fun, didn't we? 250,000 people per half hour. Good morning from Gordon and Oliver. Gordon, how lovely to have you with us. And Dinky-Doo, I say. There we are. Fantastic. I caught a swatch of you, by the way, in one of the videos. Very, very handsome chap. So there are. The radio was great. What's the secret to the weight loss? Well, John, I've just been talking about you. I said there was a Doomhamer who was a doubting Thomas. There we are. We've just, I don't know, just been eating very well. Lots of sprouts. So there we are. Fantastic stuff. Gordon and Oliver, I hope you guys are well. What is wee Oliver now? Is he coming up to Gordon? When I first met you, I think your pet was a hamster. And then you decided to get wee Oliver, and I would bet you've never, ever looked back. Just wonderful. Hi, Scotty. Hope you had a nice Christmas. Renee, it was lovely. Us that BC, you're no well, Scotty. The weekly spot. Yes, absolutely. I think it would be too much. We've done 105 phone-ins, guys. But I need to get the word out there. The YouTube channel is still a big, big secret. Like how many of you have actually visited it? And you'll see the URL for it on the TikTok bio. I Doonhamer, exiled in Guruk. Love the boat talk, Scotty. I've learned loads. Now, John, tell me more about the boat talk. What boat talk would you like? And we can do you a bit of that. I wonder if people joining YouTube, they go, what's all this about? He's talking about diesel engines from the 1930s. There we are. But no, do tell us, because we're full of knowledge and information. And I need to pass it on to somebody, because if anything happens to me, we don't want a load of dummies walking the earth, you know, just because there's no longer McClue. Oliver was 19 months on Boxing Day. You're right, my hamster was called Toya. Yes, I remember Toya. There we are. I've got Fraser, a Syrian hamster, and Amy, a miniature Chinese hamster. And I was talking to a Syrian about the hamster, because I remembered my father. We had hamsters when I was wee, but they were so clever. They used to keep escaping. They were real Houdinis. They were escapologists. And you would find them. Somebody got one 3 gardens away. One had injured its foot and had a club foot for the rest of its life. One, fortunately, we didn't put a match to the fire, but was nestling in the newspapers in the fireplace. And another one used to come out for a little bit of cake. And they become absolute family pets, and their communication's huge. Did you get a job as Santa at Christmas? I once had to be Santa giving presents to sick children in my hospital radio days. I loved it. I have done Santa all my life, and I've never charged people for it, because it was for charities. And I can remember 2 years ago, left sitting for 2 hours, 5 till 7 as Santa, but it did very well. It raised a lot of money. Scotty, wann kommst du mal nach Deutschland? Nicht Deutsch sprechen, ich bin ein Ausländer, nicht verstehen. Scotty, when are you coming to Germany, to Deutschland? Ja, guten Morgen. What's the piano thing, Scotty? Well, the piano was when I decided that too many young people said they couldn't play the piano. So if you go on YouTube and put in Scotty McClue piano, I will teach you to play the piano in 7 minutes. And I would urge every single one of you to do that. Welcome in all the sevens. I would love to come to Germany. There we are. Oh, the accordion, the piano accordion. Yes, but my piano accordion's not working terribly well. It's about 80 years old. Are you doing the live today? No, Callum, we're not actually going to do a live. We might do one on Saturday. And we've been talking this morning about doing a live at the Bells. Scotty, the absolute bonnet, of course. Scotty, I love your bonnet. Do you like this one? I think this is a cracker. I'm rather partial to it. There we are. I've got so many hats here. Greetings from Oslo. Skål. Skål, Heiken Eriksen. How lovely to have you with us, Heiken Eriksen, in Oslo. Yes, indeed, in Norway, or as we say in this country, no way. Fantastic. Callum's smiling away there. Wonderful. We love it. Will you be on tonight? I'll not be on tonight. Scotty, I love your humour. Renee, I thank you. You'll get it all on the TikTok videos. They're all there for you. And we're having such fun. And it is such fun. And it should be. There's not nearly enough fun around. Hi, Scotty. I once played Santa as a 15-year-old girl because he was sick. And I was all for my age. Mega, are you not just amazing? I'm Callum from Bara, who's on the call. Cabrahau, Callum, Hachemamaha. Falce, falce, kid, Emily falce. Kid, Millie falce. YouTube and TikTok. I guess TikTok. My boyfriend wears a bonnet. He's from Leicestershire. I got him a tartan one. Good one. We like that. I'm running out of cloudy apple. I might have to do an emergency dash. I said, yay, says Callum. Great, Callum. Sorry, I'm tall for my age. Mega Chelsea, fantastic. So am I. I'm quite tall for my age. I hope I don't shrink. You know, sometimes older people shrink. Hope to keep my New Year's resolution. I knew a guy who has 7 addictions to give up. He didn't know when to start. Oh my goodness. What's the tipple? The tipple's the cloudy apple juice. I gave up the alcohol about 7 years ago because I was trying to calculate when I would be cleared for driving. And I thought, I don't want to be held to ransom by alcohol, because I spoke to a doctor friend and I said, are there any benefits at all of alcohol? And he went, no. It's quite good as a social de-inhibitor, but apart from that, zero. And I thought, well, why am I spending a fortune on something of zero benefit? So that was it. Scotty, how would you stay so diplomatic with the people the way you've always have an intelligent answer to give? I think it's very important to give an intelligent answer if you can. I mean, I've spent all these years of study, so I might as well use my intelligence. There we go. He never loses composure, does he? Oh, sometimes Activision, I've given them a bit of a row, a bit of a good old wigging on the radio. Oh, yes, indeed. Everyone's very subtle and genuine. Is it years of training? I don't know if you'd call it training or you'd just call it just chatting, really. I mean, that's all we do is we talk. And you think, is there a market for that? You say, well, obviously. Everybody's into Scotty McClue, and the next generation have discovered me 30 years on. This June, which is only 6 months away, that's 30 years of Scotty McClue. Isn't it interesting? And when people say, yeah, but I mean, you know, he's had his day, you know, I mean, that's old hat now. They've been saying that for the 30 years. And it's interesting how certain members of the public once they've seen what you do, they want you to go. They want rid of you. Give it up, Scotty, for goodness sake. Give it up, man. One night I was watching a program on ITV because I was on duty. And it's a program I absolutely adored. It was a religious program called Highway. And it was on a Sunday night. And it was hosted by the late, great Harry Seacombe, who somebody said I could be a dead ringer for. What a compliment. And I can remember Harry Seacombe hitting some high tenor note, beautiful. And this chap working with me went, "Oh, give it up, Harry, for goodness sake." And I thought, why? After a 50, 60 years of distinguished career, who had worked so hard at this beautiful voice, and here was this half-wit telling him to give it up. What's wrong with these people? No one's ever had their day. We grow wiser as we get older. We see the problem I've got, Activision, if it's a problem, is I haven't even scratched the surface yet. And that is that a problem? I don't know. When are we getting the great Margaret Thatcher statue in the middle of Glasgow so we can bow to it? Now, I've got to put this out to the nation. You've raised it, all the sevens. I remember Harry Seacombe, says Anthony, calling Mary Queen of Scots Mary Queen of Spots. A very funny outtake. Yes, indeed. Yes, it was a genuine mistake. Mary Queen of Spots. I hope you have a good Christmas. He's a lovely man to work with. You know, I didn't work with him, but my friends did at work. And I used to see him and everything. A wonderful man. So glad to see you up and about. And better, dear Scotty. Hope you've had a lovely Christmas. Fantastic. Much love from Iceland. Helga Eriksdottir. We send love to our beautiful, beautiful Iceland. Are you in Reykjavik? To the great lady. So there we are. Did you work at the BBC studios? Yes, I have done, Joey. And I can remember a senior person in the BBC being asked, "Why do you not employ Scottie McClue full time?" And he said, "It's just not something we're interested in." And this was a time when I was hardly off the BBC. Because I always thought that if the mid-morning slot on BBC Radio Scotland ever became vacant, Scottie McClue would be a good fit for that. Yes, indeed. Like we used to do in Scott, 9 o'clock in the morning till midday, and do all the current affairs, all the fun, all the comedy, all the interesting people in Scotland, a bit of phone-in, a bit of email, a bit of text, a bit of chat. And I always thought that would suit me. Very, very interesting. But obviously, the powers that be didn't quite click on that one. So there we are. Who knows, though? There's still loads and loads of time. If we're here, we're doing it. Fantastic. I hope you have a good Christmas and New Year, says Callum. And I hope your family are getting well. You too, Callum. You take great care of yourself. And send love, and I mean genuine love, from the very bottom of my heart out to the good people of Barra. The Barracks. The good burgers. Careful. He worked with Peter Sellers. Yes, he did. He was the Goon Show, Angela. How are you doing, big man? David, how lovely to have you with us. That's fab, says Joey. Dinky-Doo. Joey, you guys are fab, I say. Has everybody watching TikTok shared this? Do share it. I've got 3,100 likes. One day I popped up on TikTok and we got 10,800 viewers and 40,000 likes. How amazing is that? I'm in Selfoss, so that's just east of Reykjavik, with 10,000 people. We're expecting new volcanic eruptions here in Iceland any day now. Oh, Helga, please be careful, my dear, dear, dear lady. Yes, look after yourself. and all our Icelandic people. I'm sure there's a lot of the old Icelandic inners, you know, and I believe it's such a beautiful, beautiful land. And of course, you're looking at, were you not looking at the whole independence thing with Scotland? Did you not? Did you not proffer advice? Stuff like that. Hi, Scotty. Hi, Andy. Lovely to have you with us. And Dinky-Doo, a very, very warm welcome to everybody popping up this morning on the old TikTok and YouTube. We're sharing. Yes, get sharing. Who were the others? The others you had Harry Seacombe, Peter Sellers, Michael Bentin, and Harry Seacombe, Peter Sellers, Michael Bentin, and of course Spike Milligan, a man who I adore as well. Lovely, lovely, funny, clever man. Could you imagine? This is another thing I'd like to have done. I wish we did several lives, guys. I'd love to have sat and written the comedy with the goons. You know, these people like Barry Cryer and that sort of thing as well. I've been to Iceland, says Gordon. I haven't, Gordon. I'm not well travelled out with the UK. So tut, because you see, I've actually really just worked since I was 12. I got told away and work. So I've worked since I was 12. But to be honest with you, radio and television, there's a saying that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And you know the kind of person that always goes on at you and goes, oh, you don't know how hard I've worked. Oh, you don't realize how hard I've worked. All that kind of stuff. I tend to wind them up a little bit. Well, you see, the problem is I've never done a hand's turn. That annoys them. My dad would have called Iceland. There we are. Mamba country, miles and miles of be-all. Very interesting geographically and geologically. Gordon, there's never be-all. There's always something. Remember my impressionation of the great man. Nothing is stirring in this frozen landscape. As we look out across the Arctic tundra, we see a slight movement. It's the one occupant of this forgotten land, the Arctic fox. Did you like that one? Where's the best place to take the family in Scotland? Everywhere, Joey. Anywhere at all in Scotland, you know, I mean, you've got beautiful, beautiful border country. You've got the Doonhamers over in Dumfries when you come over the border. You've got lovely little villages around Lanarkshire and the Lothians, Lead Hills. Then you can get over to Edinburgh. You've got the Scottish borders, which are stunning. Jedburgh and Selkirk and Lauder and Melrose and Newton St. Boswell's. It's just a stunning country. Then you're into Stirlingshire. You could go over to Argyll. You could go up to the east coast, to Stonehaven, to the East Neuk of Fife. You know, Inverness, Morayshire, Sutherland, Skye, Mull, Iona, Rum, Egg, yes, indeed, Muck. As a little boy, I used to remember them because I thought rum and egg would make muck, wouldn't it? I love going to Scotland. We always go camping and monster hunting. Oh, yes, indeed, Andy. And go monster hunting. Uist, yes, Callum. Get out there and see the Uistchocks. Are we North Uist or are we South Uist? Are we Benbecula? And Harris as well. And Lewis. And of course, Barra. Looking forward to a great new year. It's always great having McClue as part of our life. Best wishes from the Macs to the McClues. I thank you. Barra, says Callum. Yes, indeed. Sure, Barra. Fantastic. There we are. Coachine. Eriski. The Eriski love. Southwest, yes. Afternoon, James. Hello, Scotty. Dinky-Doo. Dinky-Doo, lovely to have you with us on the old TikTok. Fantastic. I love you so much. You're very kind, Callum. That is very, very good of you. Do you ken a Pfeiffer like? Well, everybody kens a Pfeiffer like. I mean, there's Ken the Pfeiffer, and he kens abody else, and he kens a boy who kens a boy who kens Ken, who kens abody and Fife. They used to say if you're supping with the Pfeiffers, you have to use a lang spoon. I must skedaddle. Catch you later. Absolutely Activision. How high is the rest and be thankful? Very high, Angela, because when you got to the top of that, you rested and were thankful. My parents were from Argyll, and they moved to Greenock on the River Clyde. Beautiful, beautiful place. And they used to travel the old military road before they managed to make a new road for the rest and be thankful, which has for many years was absolutely fine. But in the last decade has been absolutely plagued with landslips and settlement and problems because the huge waterfalls that pour down these mountains. Anyway, down in the bottom of the valley, he says, down in the valley, oh, is the old rest and be thankful, the old military road. And you used to have to clamber up that, and they were in things like a Morris 8. And my uncle drove buses in 1928. And on a snowy night, you could take the bus round to Argyll. And they would clamber up this with snow chains on. They would stop at the bottom and affix snow chains on the bus, 1928. The days when buses had separate chassis. I used to have to go down and collect the chassis from Leyland or somewhere like that. Anyway, do you know Invernahwhere? There's no such thing as Invernahwhere. Do you know Crean Larich? There's a good one for you. Practice that. One for our English cousins to practice all day today. Crean Larich. Crean Larich. Wonderful. Have you done your family ancestry? I've got 70% Irish, 30% Scottish. Good mix, Anthony. Very, very good mix. We're all Irish, really, to a greater or lesser extent. There we are. I'd rather be a lifer than a pfeiffer. I love the people that say, I know you've lived here for 60 years, but you'll never be a local. He went, well, thank God for that. I love that. That's a very good answer. So there we are. Although this is coming from Scottie McClue, who's probably the world's only honorary Yorkshireman. Aha! There we are. What about that? Fantastic, I say. So there we go. And when you got up to the top of the rest and be thankful, the bus stopped again and removed the snow chains to save the mud guards in case they went round and clattered the mud guard. And the driver did all that, washed their own buses and all sorts of things in these days. In 1928, and then, of course, I don't know how many of you remember David McBrain's buses in Argyll. What did you have for Christmas dinner, La? I had the most beautiful Christmas dinner this year. Absolutely outstanding. I'll tell you what I had in the morning. Beautiful cured bacon on rolls with brown sauce. Am I annoying anybody here at the moment? Am I winding you up? It was just absolutely gorgeous. Bacon rolls, fantastic stuff, and the brown sauce. Anybody else do the brown sauce, or are some of you into the tomato? You say tomato, I say tomato. More cloudy apple, please. Yes, I've done all my family research. We go back in the same place about 1,000 years. Did Cliff Hanley write These Are My Mountains, Scotty? David, I think you're correct. I think Cliff did. And I'll tell you who I remember singing it, the Alexander Brothers. Wonderful. There we are. Just wondering, has McBrain's anything to do with Caledonia McBrain's ferries? Anthony Mack. My goodness me, what a question. Yes. David Hutchison in the 1860s ran steamers on the River Clyde. Now, I think it was his nephew was David McBrain, who died in 1908. And David McBrain was McBrain's who had the Royal Mail contracts for the west of Scotland and used to run steamships and motor ships. And then the company was reconstituted in 1928 and became David McBrain 1928 Limited. And then I think it was somebody will need to correct me here, around 1969, 1970, 71, it became Caledonia McBrain because on the lower west coast, if you like, rather than Highland west coast, was the Caledonian steam packet. So when I was wee, you had yellow funneled steamers of the Caledonian Steam Packet Company, the CSP. And you had red funneled steamers of David McBrain Limited, who ran the Royal Mail Service. Fantastic. And the two amalgamated to make Caledonian McBrain. So there you are. Fantastic stuff. The Caledonian Steam Company, the Caledonian Steam Packet Company, the CSP. And they'd taken over ships that were owned by companies like the London and North Eastern Railway Company, the London, Midland and Scottish Company, the Glasgow and South Western Railway, who were the original ones, I think. They ran from Prince's Pier in Greenock, and they were the original ones that called all their ships after characters from Sir Walter Scott's Waverley novels. So you had the Waverley and the Caledonia, the Lucy Ashton, the Jeannie Deans, the Ivanhoe. Isn't that beautiful? So you had all these characters. Then you had another company that ran ships like the Glen Rosa to Arran and the Glen Sannox, things like that. Wonderful stuff. So there you are, Anthony. So there's a good education for you. And if you go to Oban and you look out at the island of Kerrera, you'll see a monument on Kerrera. And I think that monument is to David Hutchison, the original steamboat owner for the west coast of Scotland, paddle steamers. And McBrain's had things like the Chevalier, the Mountaineer, the Grenadier. One of them went on fire in Oban Harbour at the North Pier in 1928. Oh, wonder if it was the Grenadier, actually. So there you are. So I hope that answers your question, Anthony. There we are. Fantastic. If you've just joined us, folks, a very warm welcome. We're a small but happy band of viewers. Thanks, Scotty, and a great education. Not at all. It's all out there, Anthony, and it's very, very interesting. And of course, I was part of it because at the age of 12, I was on the small ferries and we used to wait off for the turbine. So on a beautiful summer's evening, Instead of us going into the pier, it would sit off because the turbine was coming. And that was the Duchess of Hamilton. Isn't that fantastic? So there you go. So you'll get all that. It's all good stuff, I say. Do you know what I can't believe? I can't believe we've popped up for 45 minutes this morning and just had a jolly good chat. Isn't that beautiful? I hope that you'll watch this on YouTube. Brown sauce, 100%, Scotty. Yes, thanks, Scotty. The Caledonian Steam Company, Caledonian Steam Packet Company, a packet boats, you see, they were deals that you got. You have some memory. Are you famous? Trello. I wouldn't say famous. 2 billion people know me. I'm probably one of the best known people in the world today. But I've never ever called myself famous. And I think that's why I've lasted so long. Have you noticed that stars twinkle and go out? I've noticed that somebody's a huge personality. Oh, we're watching Annie McGranny tonight. She's amazing. Oh, she's amazing. Oh, wow. And the next thing, gone. They don't make ships like that anymore. Yes, the Duchess of Hamilton was interesting because most of the CSP fleet were built at Denny's in Dumbarton, was the turbines. The Duchess of Hamilton was built by Harland and Wolff. Yes, indeed. Scotty for First Minister, 100%. Would you like that? Thank goodness you're better than I imagined, Scott. You look to know well. Chin up, he done the loo. There we are. Well, I just wasn't well. No, I wasn't actually sick, but I just was. It was really, I would have said, a mini physical collapse just from doing too much work. There we are. Fantastic. Scotty, why do we have pork pie on Christmas? I've never actually had pork pie on Christmas. Is that I've had it at Hogmanay in Yorkshire. Big, lovely big wedges of pork pie. Milton Mowbray. There we go. But Angela, I don't know that you're very interesting because I've never. Did you ever meet Jack House, Scotty? You have a great brain like Jack. I saw him once, and I still, to this day, love his stuff. I used to read him in the papers. He used to go and have his dinner in the finest restaurant in the West End of Glasgow. I remember that. So there we go. Wonderful. The ubiquitous chip. Fantastic. Your photo was in the back of nearly every bus in Glasgow. It was, Gordon, yes, at the time, and all over the telly and international. Yes, we used to get calls. In fact, I remember one morning a call from the Today programme on Radio 4 asking for my opinions on Scottish football. The one thing I probably know virtually zero about. Definitely brown sauce and a bacon roll. I'm starving now. So there we are. Yes, absolutely. Now then, oh yes, so plenty of knowledge, guys. If you want to come on for a chat, you're always very, very welcome. We've got about, if we do another 10 minutes, that's an hour. And I think that might be quite a nice touch just for the 28th. Wonderful. Do you know what makes me laugh? I'll tell you about YouTubers. They go, your shows are so long. And I don't want to sound sarcastic by saying to them, have you ever thought of just watching a few minutes? And a lovely saying, of course, is, Alexa, play Scottie McClue on YouTube. That's the one to give it. Scotty, hope you've had a good Christmas. How many hearts does an earthworm have? Robert. It could have 100 hearts. Come on, tell us, Robert. You know that's quite a big one even for McClue. There we are. Jack House's book, The Heart of Glasgow, is a great read. Joe Gordon Robertson, I can't believe you sometimes. I've just been reading it, and I've passed it on to a friend. And I'm now reading Michael Fry. I'm a great fan of Michael Fry's work. The Scottish Empire, the Crown, the Union, all that sort of stuff. Very, very interesting. And of course, there's been such a stushy about Scotland and slavery, Henry Dundas in Edinburgh. And virtually all the Scots cities are built off the back of slavery. But slavery did not necessarily mean African slaves. The word Slav comes from Slavia, as in Yugoslavia and things like that. And that's where the word slave comes from. They were originally Slavs. And nowadays we sadly, very sadly, have modern slavery. You know, absolutely. And we've had a touch of knowing what it's like to be confined to our houses in the last couple of years and not allowed to do this, that, and the next thing. And of course, the great old song, Rule Britannia, written by a Scot, of course. Britain never, never, never shall be slaves. So there we are. So, however, Scotland was the first country in the world to make slavery illegal. Absolutely, Gordon. Very advanced thinking, because it was big business, you know, and it's how things were done. And I don't think we should be tearing down our history. I mean, Glasgow was built on the tobacco trade from Virginia. Glasgow solely, wholly, and totally controlled the tobacco trade. And how did they pick the tobacco? By the slaves. The sugar trade, Greenock, sugar. Yes, running sugar. Ships, refineries. But my goodness me, Scotland was doing well economically. The only thing is, the ordinary people were enslaved. The Highland clearances. I was thinking the other day, they were talking about how Scotland had very generously contributed to doing up the Houses of Parliament, public works. And I was thinking, you know, it would be a nice touch for Westminster to do up Linlithgow Palace by way of reparation of damages for Culloden. And I would like to see that. There should be a reparation of damages for Scotland. And the Linlithgow Palace should be fully roofed and used. You know, very important. And before people start shouting, aye, for the homeless, you've got to understand that homeless people are homeless for a whole variety of reasons. And very often might be battling addiction, very often might be battling anxiety, might very often be battling mental illness, and would be very disorientated in things like castles and palaces and that sort of idea. So I just wish people, I admire the social conscience, but I wish they would apply a little bit of knowledge to their comments. And that's one of the problems I find with a lot of social media. It's not, the comments are not based on knowledge and understanding. This is where McClue has always scored highly, because we talk knowledge and understanding. And if only small numbers hear it, get sharing it, get it out there. You know, I mean, the Scottie McClue YouTube channel should not be the world's best kept secret. It should be the world's best known YouTube channel. It's up to every single one of you to make it that. So there we are, especially if we're doing the phone in. The history, what's and all's there to be learned from. However, Scotland was the first. Oh, yes, indeed. That's why I want to keep the monarchy, Scottie. Even in the event of independence, I admire and believe in socialism. but I believe in respecting and valuing your heritage. Yes, and Robert, the Scottish monarchy, I got pilloried by top journalists, quite touching, for saying it was 2,347 years old. Now it is, but the problem that they've got is that Scotland, as an entity, as a named place, is not 2,347 years old. But the country as we know as Scotland, whatever it was called before, the monarchy goes back 2,347 years to the ancestry of Ree, one of the great old Celtic kings. You see? So McClue wins there, but the top journalists, they don't like being told. And one who's a great guy and a terrific research worker, he was archie-barging with me. But obviously we're talking Danad Fort in Argyll in the 850s. We're talking Kenneth MacAlpin, and that's the modern Scottish monarchy. And then you'll have people coming up and saying, what about the Declaration of Arbroath, the people? The Declaration of Arbroath is a letter written by the Scottish aristocracy to His Holiness the Pope in Rome, asking His Holiness, because remember, we were a Catholic country, asking His Holiness if the Scottish nobles could choose their own king. See? Again, misunderstanding, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, needing to listen to McClue, needing to take a telling. So what's wrong with some of these people? They will not take a telling. There we are. So absolutely, Robert. So yes, of course, we should always keep the Scottish monarchy. Her Majesty the Queen, her heirs and successors, the head of state for Scotland, our sovereign lady. She has very kindly, graciously granted parliamentary sovereignty to the people, but she remains with ultimate sovereignty. Have you watched the Very British Scandal, Scotty? With the Duke of Argyll and his wife, her name escapes me, you'll know it. It's a scandalous divorce. It was indeed, and yet they were very, very harsh on her. Her name was Margaret Whigham. She was the daughter of a magnate. I'd thought a copper magnate, but I think he was into synthetic cloths and was very big in America, Mr. Whigham. And they lived in Newton Mearns in Scotland, in a big estate on the Ayr Road. You can still see the gates. That was the Whigham's estate, and she was Margaret Whigham. And she married Ian Campbell, the Duke of Argyll, who was born, I think, about 1903. They were a very glamorous couple. And then she was seen in Polaroid pictures in a compromising position. And he played it for all it was worth to get her divorced. And then she recovered socially and became Margaret, Duchess of Argyll, and wrote for society magazines, Stepping Out with Margaret Argyll. And there's a book on her called The Duchess Who Dared. So I can tell you all about that, the whole lot. Guys, I'm going to have to go. We're out of time. I love you all to bits. Scotty McClue says, thanks for watching. Have a lovely, lovely day. And Dinky-Doo. Ta-ra. That's our beautiful TikTokers gone. And now it's time to say bye-bye to our beautiful YouTubers. Love you lots, guys. Ta-ra.